The first is to edit the text in the laser engraving software. Click this file, click on this blank space, then enter the information to be marked here. Enter key new line. After the information is lost, the font here can also be changed. Then click Apply, put the file in the center. Then let's look at this F at this time. Click here to have some text content settings, character space, line space. Click to apply. It can be changed here. So after you change it, click Apply. Click OK when it is suitable. Let's start with the first method of rotation. The text edited in the laser engraving software. Like this. We're going to label it with rotated text. Click on it. What should be noted here is that this F3 point is opened. Take a look at our second one. There's a gear ratio. It uses this kind of turntable that we clip. The gear ratio is a fixed one. The diameter is the actual diameter of the product. If you use 12 ball bearings to roll together, it's a long turning, so the gear ratio is the circumference divided by 100, and the gear ratio is the diameter. It's the diameter of your actual product. Then after filling it out, you can directly mark it. This file doesn't matter if it's turned sideways or rotated 90 degrees, as long as the file is edited in all laser engraving software, can be directly marked with this rotating text. This model is the best. Now is another way. Our file is a vector file imported from outside. At this point, if my file is sideways like this, we are the same. Click here, marked with this rotary mark. You can rotate text mark. Be sure to use rotary mark. Click on it, marked horizontally with a rotary mark like this. Pay attention here, mark by split line to mark. Don't mark this first split above. Same, click this F3. Click on the second one to see which turntable is used. The rotating table we clipped is still the same. The gear ratio is 1. The diameter is the diameter of the actual product. If you use a long rotating table driven by 2 rollers, the same is also the circumference divided by 100. Filling as much gear ratio as you actually get. The diameter is still the same as the diameter of the product. Then the thing to pay attention to here is this auxiliary line, because we are now divided according to the auxiliary line. On this page we mouse over here, mouse wheel scroll back and forth. This can be zoomed in and out. Then let's see. By default it is like this. Let's add the auxiliary line first. Auxiliary line file horizontally. That's line by line. After marking one line, move to another line. Then we are in the blank space between the 2 lines. Left mouse button double click. This red auxiliary line comes out. Then double click on the empty position on the other line. So let's split it up. It's following this guide. Divide it into 3 parts. Mark the first line first. Mark the second line again. After marking the second line, turn to marking the third line. That's it. Okay, this one is horizontal. There's also a case where the file is vertical. A document like this that's upright. The files imported from the outside are not suitable for engraving with this rotary mark. It will put a complete text. Divide it into 2 parts. There will be traces of splicing, so this mode can't be used. Externally imported vertical file, you can only use this rotate text mark. But before using it, we need to deal with this file. Then first we have to ungroup our files. So here we go. The size of this font is combined according to the diameter of all products. If our diameter is larger, we can type 3 letters at once. Then we put 3 letters together. If it is small, then it can only be marked with a single word. If the span is relatively small, it can only be combined with a single word. So let's now combine it into an object with 2 words. On the bottom left of this object, it marked the first step. Be sure to be at the top of my list of objects. This location, it can be adjusted. We can right-click. You can put it on the front or back, or next, up 1. The same 2 letters after that are combined together. In second place, the letter is the same way. Combine 2 letters in the same way. Let's put all the letters together first. Combine 2 by 2. If one of the letters is larger in size, all the 2 spans are relatively large. We can also divide it into 1. This one is more flexible. Through this step, we put all the files together. Check order. This is the first step, which corresponds to the first one here. The second marking corresponds to the second one here. The third corresponds to the third. The marking order corresponds well. Then check again if it is matched properly. If this order is wrong, then we need to adjust it manually, or drag with the left mouse button not loose. Change its order. Then fill it up again. Pay attention to this place. Keep independence to mark. If it is not marked, it will be a hole again after filling it. That's not right. So stay independent. He is still independent after I fill it in. Then the file will be processed at this time. Then we can use rotate text mark. Open rotate text mark. It's the same as before. See which turntable you need to use. Adjust this gear ratio by 1. Still have to change according to the circumference divided by 100. It depends on which turntable to use. Same diameter. Here it is.